Alright, welcome back to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. This is a Bannerlord series strictly dedicated to showing you advanced tactics. We are going to try to use those advanced tactics today in a huge battle against the Valandians. What's new? They've been invading my frontier here from the west for quite a while. We just got off a huge fight with the aserai, and here we go, another huge battle. Given that I'm not even 100% healthy, you can see I have 64% health. Other people have seen me do this in a few episodes. I'm going to change out my armor. A lot of times I run very fast, very light armor. I play kind of a berserker style for this battle in order to try to survive a battle that may take a half an hour. I'm putting on, some gear that's very Valandian-like, right? There's some Valandian drip for you, right? Maybe they'll think I'm one of the allies and nobody will attack me the whole fight. I'm doing that even though the armor is considerably heavier and I'm going to move slower, but I need to be able to try to survive this battle. In we go. Alright, so this map, one of the advantages I have of playing this campaign for a long time is I know this map very well, right? This high ground over here is going to be outstanding for our archers to rain death. The problem is that Valandia is not very far away, so we're going to have to kind of race to position here. It's not going to do us any good if we're down the valley here. So we're going to be sort of running as fast as we can up there. And I'm going to use my cavalry as a screen. Basically, if you like football as the analogy, they're going to be my offensive line. Right? I've got a second and third cavalry wing here. You'll see, I'll do some slow-mo in this battle. A little bit more than I normally would. I normally don't do battles like this live, but I am trying this one. I'm going to effectively use my cavalry as a big screen and try to block the enemy cavalry from getting to our units. Right? If the enemy cavalry gets to our archers before they can even set up, this fight is over. Right? So we're going to use this cavalry kind of like a big offensive line, and the idea is to prevent as many cavalry from getting through our nets as possible. So the first one, the third cavalry, I'm just going to use this little knoll here to do it. We're going to extend them in a nice thin line. You can probably barely see there, right across the battlefield. Okay. Then I put them in shield wall. The second cavalry I'm actually sending way out here so that the enemy cavalry has other cavalry right in their face early on in this battle. Okay. My archers, I'm spreading out here in loose formation up on this knoll. Now they're not here yet, but this is where I'm assigning them to go. Similarly, the infantry go right in front of them, and they're going to be used whenever the enemy infantry comes to meet our force. Right? I actually want this line longer. Okay, you see it extending out there. I'm going to extend the other one a little bit longer too. I had some trouble there with the position. I don't know if that was a bug with my mouse or what. Here comes their horses, right? It's a huge wave of them. I'm going to throw in some javelins because you almost can't miss at this range, right? You got 300 cavalry barreling right at you. Now you can get stuck in your own cavalry too. I like to jump and it helps a little bit. Now look how few got through, right? I'll slow it down a little bit. Out of all those cavalry, like 7, 8, 9 guys got through, right? That's critical. If we stop 80 or 90% of their guys getting through, and the other guys, of course, get assailed immediately once they're through because there's not many guys for my troops to attack, much better chances of success. Sorry, horse, but you walked right on my way, buddy. The enemy's starting to break through, and so we actually go into attack, right? My forces now, the key is they are now up there. They are now shooting. I've got a line of infantry in front of them. Now the enemy is sending infantry at us very rapidly, so we're going to be attacking them with 3 different forces. You can see it's kind of cheating to throw javelins in slow-mo. We're going to attack them at the 1st, 6th, and 8th units all at the same time. Not quite yet, but when they come in the next time, this next little rebound, a lot of times they'll kind of go back and forth like that. We're going to attack. In they go. Oftentimes I'll dismount too. I'm a better fighter from the ground. And of course javelins are plenty lethal from the ground level. Although these troops are not dying to 200-point javelin shots. It's pretty unusual. Lots of death. Mostly the enemy. Right? They're getting rained on by arrows. You can just see these units being pounded by arrows. And on top of that, now they have infantry storming down into their numbers. It's a very bad setup for the enemy. Now that said, we're fighting a very tough foe. They've got very tough units, probably because their lords are high level and have high skills, high perks that make them tougher. And there's going to be a huge amount of cavalry in this battle, right? I mean, we're looking at maybe 1,000 cavalry out of all their units. So this is going to be a very grueling battle. Very early in this fight, I'm going to want to try to find a shield, because I'm going to be under attack. I'm going to be shot with arrows. Again, if I'm not commanding my units, this is not going to go very well. A lot of times after that first wave, I'll get back on a horse just to sort of see how things look, right? You got to reassess often. Some people stay on a horse the whole fight. That's not my style. If it's your style, you know, you can still command your troops the same way I'm showing. It's just a little different eye level. Right, so all I'm doing right here is sort of assisting my troops. My infantry, I'm trying to pull them back because I don't want them to be right next to the enemy. And taking stock of my forces, right? I have 30 of the 2nd Cavalry and 30 of the 3rd Cavalry. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to turn my 3rd Cavalry into infantry, right? I don't have that many infantry, so I'm telling them to form a big line right there, and as soon as they're in that line, dismount. Right? The horses stay there. The benefit of that, of course, is those horses will block the enemy cavalry, kind of like a nice wall of flesh. But then those infantry lines, they will come back and help us defend, right? We just don't have enough infantry early on in this battle. I'll probably regret that later on when I don't have enough cavalry, but for the moment, I need, you bastard, I need infantry more than cavalry. Always attack enemies that are facing away from you, right? Obviously, sometimes you have to deal with enemies that are attacking you, but when they're focused on somebody else, kill them. Not sure if you can see it, but my 2nd Cavalry is still kind of holding the line out there. The benefit of that in this case is we've got a little breather. I've had time to set up my infantry units. We're still raining death with our archers, right? So far, so good in this battle, but it's a long way to go. Another huge infantry wave coming. Again, we're going to do a very similar process. Again, I'm pulling my 8th Corps over to this knoll. I want them kind of on top here. What we're going to do is we're going to fly in on the side of this as it arrives. My guys are moving over. Here they come. Now I'm attacking with the 1st, 3rd, and 6th. That's the newly formed infantry division. It used to be a cavalry division. And then I'm sending my 8th Corps, I'll show you one more time, right into the midst of the battle. I want them charging. I don't want these guys being hesitant like a virgin at a bar. I want them barreling in like these guys know they're going to get laid. Right? These guys are tough warriors. There's going to be some losses. Losses are acceptable in battle, right? But I want them getting in there aggressively. We're losing people, but so is the enemy. You get a really persistent blocking enemy, just go fight somebody else. Ignore them. Guys are focused on you, ignore them. It's only a problem if you get 5, 6, 7 guys on you. And always remember, you can just jump on a horse when you need to, right? In this case, taking another drastic move here. I'm sending my archers into charge. And what that's doing in this instance is basically giving us more infantry. Right? I'm supplementing our existing infantry with all of our archers. Now, not all of them will charge. The guys at the top of the hill, the AI is smart enough to know it doesn't need to send those guys into charge. But the ones here at the bottom of the hill, it'll send those guys right in. God, these are persistent fucking troops. I apologize for my swearing, but I'm not that. I swear I'm not that many. It's a big wave of cavalry. This is going to be an endless battle. Right? This is going to be an exhausting battle. The key to this whole battle, I mean the whole battle, is me staying alive. If my character gets dropped early in this fight, this battle is over. Troops will start doing bizarre things. The AI will take over. And as I've said before, it's obvious they're not using Chat GPT. The AI for Bannerlord is mediocre ass shit. This has turned into a huge scrum. I've got half my archers fighting. I've got cavalry running through the middle. I'm getting this very brief break here, and I'm going to use it. I'm repositioning my archers up there. I don't want them charging the whole battle. Right? I want those guys shooting arrows. My whole strategy for this fight is based on them shooting arrows. And I'm just kind of mowing through infantry archers when I can. Okay, I got my first infantry reinforcements, but they're on the other fucking side of the world. Right? It's basically a very bad setup, but I'm going to keep showing you this because sometimes you're going to have to deal with this shit. It's going to give you your reinforcements in really bad places. Right? I don't have any cavalry reinforcements as well, which is bad news. Right? I'm facing all of this enemy cavalry. They're up here harassing my troops, and I don't have any cavalry to counteract with them. I told you I might regret dismounting my own guys. Sometimes you got to rob Peter to pay Paul. The music is ominous is because this battle kind of looks ominous. When it puts your reinforcements on the other side of the moon, what's happening is the whole time they're moving over here, as I get dismounted, it's kind of fun to see in slow-mo. That whole time, they're being attacked by cavalry. You can see all the death spam. A lot of that is just my reinforcements moving, getting mown down on the way to the battlefield. It's an unfortunate part of Bannerlord. Reinforcements sometimes get put in at wonky / shit spots, and you just got to deal with it as best you can, right? We're going to try to persevere despite, because I want to show you that you can win despite these kind of shortcomings. I call them shortcomings because realistically, that should just never happen, right? The reason that I'm silent right now is because I'm actually contemplating an entire move of my troops. If 70–80% of your reinforcements are down there, those are no longer your reinforcements. That's your main force. We are going to move our entire force. This might seem radical, but basically, if the AI is going to make me fight over here, right, if that's where it's going to put my reinforcements, that's where you have to fight, folks. Like, you have to be flexible on a battlefield. You shouldn't have to do it for stupid shit like an incompetent artificial intelligence just dropping your AI on the other side of the map. But we're going to deal with whatever the game throws at us, right? It's not fatal. It's going to make the battle harder for sure. But we're here for a challenge. And in this case, we're actually going to accept this challenge and try to move on. Right? So the first thing I did is, I don't know if you saw it, but I put my archers kind of up this hill. We're sort of compromising from where I want to fight and where we're going to have to fight because of where the AI is putting my reinforcements. I have like no cavalry, and the enemy has 9,000. Seems like 9,000 cavalry. So that's why I'm playing this cavalry hero right now. Like, I do really well against enemy cavalry with my polearm, but obviously I can't fight 300 cavalry on my own. These archers have to get into position, and they're going to have to start shooting arrows. Now, that's not going to happen while they're being ran over by 900 horses, right? So we have to get in here and prioritize destroying this cavalry force. If you can slow them down, once the horses start dying, once the guys start getting dismounted, what happens is that they're not running around, they're not knocking archers off, and your guys can finally start making some ground on them. Your infantry will attack these horses, or the guys that used to be on horses, and you'll have like at least some chance of recovering your archers. If these archers are not shooting, this fight is over. Right now it's going very badly, right? This is not going to be one of our resounding victories because on top of their cavalry, they're moving in these large infantry waves as well. I don't know what the death tally is for this battle. If I had to guess, though, I would say it's like 50-50. We're maybe killing half the forces compared to our own forces getting killed. It's very, very challenging. This cavalry is just never-endingly on us. In fact, we're making one more radical pull. If we do this too many times, then the battle's for sure over. We are going to come down this hill. We are repositioning yet again. We're trying to be effectively resolute in our strategy. Right? We must get these archers set up. I don't know if it's my mouse or the game today. It's having a really hard time with the laying down of troops. Usually it's not this difficult. I'm sending my cavalry into an offensive mode here, to try to beat back some of this never-ending Landian cavalry. And we're going to do some more dirty work ourselves. But what I'm doing now is effectively deciding that this valley, despite the fact that it has no range advantages at all, in fact it has range penalties basically, that's our new base, right? We're going to use this area down here, try to set up our archers, try to set up our infantry lines. We're trying to adapt to this just abysmal setting they've given us. Everywhere I look, there's 10 more Valandian cavalry. Finally, I see some archers actually shooting, but even worse, the enemy has a huge infantry line that's just barreling in and mowing my guys down. It's a very problematic battlefield. In this case, I've got no choice but to fly right into battle, right? We've got to get in there. This is desperation time, right? We're pulling out all the stops. It seems like we're outnumbered 6-1. We should only be outnumbered very, very slightly. Sending all offensive units to attack. And I'm joining them on foot. Fuck you, enemies. What is... How are there so many of them? Holy fuck. Fuck you, God. Moving my archers back even more, trying to gain distance between this infantry line and my archers. If only I could get my archers firing consistent salvos, we got a shot. And this is turning into a real slaughter. Earlier I was hoping for a decisive victory. At this stage I'm just praying for a victory. How are there infantry? There's already infantry on my archers line. This is amazing. The AI usually is not this intelligent. They are just continuing almost relentless pressure. Yeah, and everybody's on fire. So nobody's... Sometimes when guys are not shooting at all like that, the problem is that they're being told to hold fire. You missed a command, guys are still holding fire, and of course the results of that are very bad. I've got some cavalry. Got a big long infantry line. We're going to line this up. I'm going to set up my cavalry again in a big blocking way. I hope it would let me. This is part of the difficulty of the game is really giving me a hard time. Everywhere I click, it's trying to attack somebody. First it puts my reinforcements on the moon, and then it won't let me target like I normally get to. Very challenging map. Alright, let's try a different strategy with those cavalry. Won't let me do it. We're actually going to use these cavalry in a square. With my infantry line, that's going to help. Sending my cavalry way out there in a square. Never seen that before. Basically, they point their shields in every direction. Still getting enemy cavalry tearing through. I haven't met Die You Bastard in a while. Like, I'm viciously angry about this opponent today. I don't know if you can see it, but my infantry line's already being assailed by the enemy. This relentless enemy. Maybe there's a person on the other side of this. This is a real battle today, folks. Like, I haven't had one of these in, I don't know, I want to say weeks, but it's been a while. A lot of times, you know, they just don't put up a very good fight. The artificial intelligence, I mean by they. In this case, they're doing pretty well. Everything I try, they seem to be countering it pretty well. Now, that infantry line did better. See, now their forces are coming over there, so we're repositioning our infantry. I'm also going to bring my cavalry in that square. It's almost decimated already, but we're putting it up on that hill as a nice tasty morsel. Sometimes a square is really valuable because what it does is it gathers the enemy's attention. Right? I want the enemy attacking that cavalry square instead of my archers. Again, that paramount strategy here, keeping my flying horse, keeping my archers alive in this battle, that is all that matters. One of the things that's difficult is that my orange in the sunlight, it's like a sunset or a sunrise type of light. It's very similar to the enemy's red. So I'm hammering on my own guys and thinking they're the enemy quite a bit more than I normally do. I think Valandia, normally when I play in the right light, I can generally tell who the enemy is. In this battle, boy, I'm having a hard time. It just seems like there's 1,000 enemy horses. think partly where all that massive forces came from is they were attacking that square. I put that square up there as bait, and boy did they bite. They sent every cavalry in the fucking whole realm. Obviously part of the reason, again, this cavalry is so problematic is I know very quickly it's going to be amongst my archers interrupting every guy with a bow. Nobody's going to be shooting. I can't even move. I'm getting run over. Look at them all. It just looks like it's like a whole forest of cavalry. Let's just kill cavalry for a little bit, I guess. My guy is known as kind of an animal-hating cavalry killer. That's what we're going to do in this case. I don't see anybody but the enemy. Here come reinforcements. I turn around, there's 10 enemies every time I turn around. I need a horse. I gotta get some of these cavalry out of here. Get off. Give me your horse. Alright, let's work on this. Archers are spread out now. Hopefully they're shooting. Again, I'm hitting my own guys frequently because they look the same color. Orange and red, pretty similar in this light. I'm starting to see some green, that's a good sign. Like we're starting to maybe get a toehold here. My archers are firing pretty well. Yeah, as soon as I say that, here comes thousands of enemies. And look at how aggressive they're charging. They look confident. Normally my troops look like that. This enemy force looks very confident. Let's send them all in. We charge with everybody. It's desperation mode. This is our Alamo. For added suspense in battles like this, I'm not going to bring up the toll of how many units they have left, how many I have. Sometimes, if there's only a few hundred units left at the end, I will let the AI fight it out. And this is the kind of battle I would probably do that for. It's close enough that I think my AI has a shot, and it's less suspenseful to watch some dipshit AI kind of stumble about, but we're probably going to do that for this battle. I mean, I'm on a sliver of life. I can't fight forever. 2 more hits and I'm dead. Maybe 1 more good hit. And with so many swords flying around, so many cavalry, you're basically being speared like every time you look or turn around. There's another spear flying right through your face. Oh, rampage through you fucks. I know there's another huge enemy wave coming. Anytime it gets quiet in a battle like this, you can be sure there's a bunch of more enemies coming. Again, continuing to pull my forces down this hill. Anytime I get a moment's breath, I'm trying to reset my troops. I have no cavalry at all. Almost no cavalry at all. Alright. Late Napoleon's reign of about 15 years. His reign was ended because he ran out of cavalry. After the 2012 disaster in Russia, what happened was that when the enemies started rallying to fight him, right? They started allying up. They smelled weakness. He didn't have enough cavalry to pursue his defeated foes. Huge cavalry. It's just all cavalry. And that very same thing here is kind of happening in this battle. I just don't have enough cavalry to keep up with the enemy cavalry. Well, cavalry everywhere, and I don't. That means my strategy of bringing archers into this battle decisively is not working. I'm going to drop any moment now. I'm just going to take a random spear, random arrow flying through the battlefield. Like you can hear them hitting shields all around me. I can't take 1 arrow at this stage. I'm not even killing their troops with I mean, that was a spear aimed right for my face. And you died too. You died. Now the latest death spam, and this is very problematic, is archers. Archers are raining down on my force. Fortunately, the reinforcements for once actually put my guys in a somewhat good position. Kind of put them right in their midst, sort of flanking the enemy archers. I'm going to try to mow through some of these guys that are taking pot shots up here. But boy, we're in bad shape. And again, we can't take a single arrow at this stage. Right, this is kind of like a survivor round here. Can I last another 30 seconds? It's only going to take one bolt, one random sword that hits my foot, and down he goes. What I got to do is I got to stay behind these guys. The only advantage with this battle at this stage is that I did attack a force that is sieging. I can retreat without our whole army being captured, but that citadel is going to fall. This is a desperate situation, and sometimes desperation causes you to do desperate things. Like I kind of have to keep fighting, even if that means I lose more troops, I lose the battle, whatever, or I get dropped like that. It was a good run, but it didn't last forever. We zoom out, you can see the enemy reinforcements are pouring in. I'm outnumbered. All I've got are the guys left in this valley. Maybe there's one more rain of reinforcements, but it doesn't look good. At least they're in a nice grouping there, like concentrated forces. I want to tell those archers badly, get up on that hill. Right? Maybe I should have taken one more tactical run before I got knocked out. I'm still not going to bring up the menu. I have no idea. You know, that thing at the top doesn't really tell you very accurately what's going to happen. It's saying right now I'm favored, and then of course the enemy just got reinforcements, and suddenly I'm the underdog. Right? If I don't get more reinforcements, I'm probably cooked. These are pretty low-level troops. They're giving it their all, but it does not look good for our side here. The enemy looks like they're reforming. That's bad. See, the artificial intelligence today, I swear, it's like a boosted version of it. I didn't see these guys over here. I had a nice little group of guys storming in on the enemy's side, kind of giving them a little pincher action here. It's almost like the artificial intelligence for both sides played better today. Oh man, just let the enemy flee. I haven't wanted to win a battle like this in so long. That really does look like the enemy's had enough. Well, fortunately in this battle, no matter how it goes, I was able to show you quite a bit of tactics at the beginning. Again, some of the keys to fighting Valandia in this case is making sure you get a nice big cavalry wall early in the beginning. Right? You want to get that cavalry wall, especially when you're trying to move into position like I was. Now, unfortunately, that plan to move my guys into position up on the hill, sometimes what happens with that is that the artificial intelligence will put your troops behind you. It'll put them in a really lousy spot. Or I said behind you, not behind you. It'll put them off somewhere off to the side, right? Put them off behind where you were, right? So in this case, we were able to win. I'm telling myself it was my last spurt there over the last couple minutes where I had a sliver of life, still killing guys. But in the end, hopefully again you folks learned some tactics from this giant sprawling battle. And if not, certainly the next episode will be a little bit more organized and hopefully more successful. Thanks for watching. A quick recap. See, nobody died at least. But we were able to take out 2,700 excuse me, with some troops that ran, and we're down to the felt here. I think we started with 2,500 or 2,400, and we lost all but 300 men. So thanks again for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you like epic battles, if you like learning about advanced tactics for Bannerlord. I'm here to help you. I'm happy to answer questions, subscribe, like, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you next time.